Hey, ask you if I'm released to make a phone call real quick. Alright, stay on the phone with me. Tell the kids to be quiet. I'm going to be calling the police. Alright, here we go. Hello, can you hear me? Okay, is this the Hamilton Police Department? My name is Joshua Aaron Kenny Greenwood. Earlier this afternoon, I had one of your officers in downtown Hamilton attempt to cite me for a law that they said because our church was out here putting flyers on the what are the street posts, the lamp posts are out here. I don't know what you call them, the big metal poles, right? That officer, I clearly told them that we were a church, a religious organization that was posting these flyers. They, not only myself, but my wife and another person as well, also said that to them. They decided to cite me under Section 512.010. But the problem is that the law that they cited me for very, very specifically has an exemption to it in Section 504.050, and it says exemptions, A, nonprofit organizations, and under the definition of a nonprofit organization, it means any religious or charitable group, which I clearly identified that we were a church, plus we have a 501c that is a nonprofit that is registered with the state of Montana. We were exempted. Okay, well, I'm letting you know that our church is down here again, and I'm going to continue posting these. And I have cited the law correctly, and I've identified myself as a church, and our church is going to keep doing this every day. Please, that would be great. Hello? Is there an officer on the phone? They must be a happy hour maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It seems to be very easy to get them on the phone for the folks down here when I come, but when I call them, I can't seem to get an officer. Oh, Officer Luke, very good to speak with you. My name is Pastor Joshua Kenny Greenwood. I spoke with one of your officers earlier this afternoon. I'm sure you're probably well aware of who I am, but if you don't, then let me tell you, I'm the pastor of the Empowerment Center Church. We're a religious organization that is registered with the state of Montana as a 501c3 nonprofit. Now, the reason that I'm calling you, officer, is because earlier this afternoon, and I was greeted by two of your fellow officers at the Hamilton Police Department that cited me for putting up what we described as a church flyer on the lamp posts out here. I think that's what you call them. I don't know. Yeah, the street lights, whatever. And I clearly explained that we were a church. I had two individual church members that showed up that literally said that we were a church and a religious organization that was doing this. When the officer who cited me, they couldn't, first off, even they couldn't cite the ordinance that they said that I was breaking the law down here, right? They said that I was violating the law. They said I couldn't do what I was doing. I said that yes, we could. I've already spoken with the Hamilton Chief of Police. Well, they went ahead and cited me after they looked up the law, and it said that it was under a section 512.010 under what they call bill posting. But here's the problem that we have, and here's where I'm at and what we're doing right now. Under the same section of your law, it says section 504.050, exemptions. Under exemptions, it says businesses exempt from the terms of this chapter are A, nonprofit organizations. When it comes to the definition of what a nonprofit organization says, it says nonprofit organization is defined, means any religious, charitable, social, educational, or civic group. We clearly identified that we were a church. We clearly identified that we were a nonprofit organization, and yet we were still cited. I am here representing our church. I am placing these flyers right back up. I'm going to be holding my constitutional duty. I'm letting you know as an officer of the law that we're exempt under your code. And yes, that is exemption. That is 5.04.050 of the same exact law that they used to try to cite me today, which was under bill posting. It is under the exemptions clause of that entire chapter. That is the very specific section. I clearly informed the officer. I have two material witnesses, and I have an audio recording that physically proves that I spoke to the officer, and I specifically told them, including the Hamilton Chief of Police, no less than 1 to 2 days beforehand when I had a conversation with him. I clearly explained in that in a recorded conversation with him as well that we were a charitable organization, and I was posting this. We are exempted. I am down here in Hamilton. Now, either the law means something in this town or it doesn't. I have been approached by officers who couldn't even quote me the law that told me that I was being detained for a law that they couldn't even cite when they talked to me, and told me that if I left, that I would be under arrest for obstruction of justice. Either constitutional rule of law means something in this town or it doesn't. That law says that I'm exempt. The officers that gave me that citation today didn't even bother to read that part, even after we told them on multiple times we were a church and a religious organization. And we are listed with the Montana Secretary of State as a religious charitable organization. The flyer doesn't advertise any business. It doesn't advertise anything. It goes to a church domain that literally says the Empowerment Center Church, where there are no goods there for sale. It's all done under the auspice of the church, like I explained to the officer. I am in downtown Hamilton right now. I am placing these flyers back up. If I am approached, I am underneath the illusion, or I'm underneath the impression, I should rather say, that there is no more constitutional rule of law. Now, either there is or there isn't, Officer Luke. Either the law means something or it doesn't. So what are we going to do about this? What are we going to do? Because either your law stands up and it's correct and true, or we're playing monkey business. This is a kangaroo court town, and this is the Wild West, and you people are just trying to harass me, which is a violation of my constitutional due process. Which is it? I have the whole entire thing recorded. They said, you had a conversation with the chief of police and he told you you couldn't do this. I had a conversation with the chief of police and I told him that I could do that. And he didn't arrest me, nor did he cite me. And he had a fellow officer present. And like I said, I have it all recorded so that this is all on the record. But when she approached me, when she approached me, she said, he told you you couldn't do this, you are breaking the law. I said, what law am I breaking? Cite the ordinance. She said, well, I can't cite it. My partner's gonna go look it up. So I was approached by an officer telling me that I'm already breaking the law, that she didn't even know the law even existed, couldn't even quote it properly, threatened to detain me, held my person, by the way, ripped down the flyers, and then gave me a ticket even after I have two material witnesses that were on the scene that told the officer that we're a church. They just didn't bother to look up the exemptions. They just went right to bill postings, they looked it up, and they said, we could fine this guy $10. We're a church, and either this rule of law stands for something. What the problem is that I'm putting up a flyer that is squarely pissing off the business owners down here. They can't stand it. They just hate it because it's the truth. But our church has the right. That's what the freedom of speech allows us to do. And either we're still a constitutional democracy or we're not. And right now, it's kind of looking like we're not. Yes, I'm here. I'm waiting for you. I'm just letting you know I'm down here again, and the law clearly says under section 504050 that we're exempt on section A.
Yeah, that's that idiot right there.
So make sure you get that. Make sure you get that law. Was it 504050? Religious organizations are exempted. That's exemption. Oh yeah, it's right there under bill posting under section 5 of City of Hamilton ordinances. Good luck.
Good luck to you. Where's your written message?
I'm sorry, I'm speaking not to you, Officer Luke. I'm speaking to a business owner who's really upset about me putting these out here because they don't like the fact that our church is pointing out their occult activities that between the worlds. I was approached by the chief of police and another officer, and then today I was approached by two police officers, a female and a male. Yes. Even one. I'm sorry. Yeah, so the chief of police did not cite us. He did not arrest me. He did not do anything. He literally said, well, we're going to walk away. We'll come and tear him down later, is what he said. He said he's for the freedom of everybody in this town. And I said, well, if you're for the freedom for everybody in this town, then why aren't you tearing down their materials? And he said, well, I'm for the freedom of everybody. Well, that doesn't really seem like that's the case, but it seems like they're biased. And then today with the two officers that approached me, it clearly seems that your officers made a mistake. Yes. Listen, officer, it's very important because you don't know who I am. There's a very, very important reason why I'm speaking, and I say this prophetically. I'm only saying this because Yehovah commands me to speak. And I am Jewish, and Yehovah is the Hebrew name for the Lord, okay? I'm being illegally spied upon by our CIA. This was a fact that was brought up materially in federal, and actually in the court here in Ravalli County just a few weeks ago. I posted this on our YouTube channel under an affidavit filed in the court here under the penalties of perjury. I have both the CIA and the Joint Terrorism Task Force that is illegally spying on me without any due process or just cause, because what I prophesy comes to pass without fail. Now, there's a reason why I'm saying this to you. That just as I prophesied today to the citing officer, Yehovah has prophesied through me, and this is very serious, and it's the reason why the CIA spies on me. If I am arrested for any reason, Yehovah has said that there will be a nuclear weapons incident in this country, in the mainland of the United States of America. I am not lying to you when I say that. You need to hear me very, very carefully when I said that. Did you hear me when I said that, or were you talking to somebody else? Okay. So it's very important that we carefully walk with knit gloves in these moments. I know what I was doing when I came down here. The officer gave me a false citation. Yehovah has commanded me not even to go to the courtroom in regards to this officer. I'm not even going to the court for this. I'm letting you know I'm in downtown Hamilton right now. I'm in downtown Hamilton. You have already previously cited me. I am putting these flyers back up on every one of these posts that I saw that was on public property. I'm doing the exact same thing that I did before. I am citing to you our exemption, and to let you know, you're more than welcome to come down here. But if you come down here and violate this law, I am making sure it is on the record for the people that hold power in this nation and beyond. Because it will look like there is a constitutional crisis, and I am absolutely underneath the impression that there is. I believe firmly that this is a kangaroo court town. I believe that there is no more constitutional rule of law. And I believe it is being exhibited by your police force, and I'm making sure it's on the record, and you are on a conference call, and there is more than one person on this phone that is listening to make sure that there are witnesses to this conversation. So I'm calling you. I want to make sure this is all on the record. Is this all on the record? You guys making sure this is recorded? You're making sure that you're writing this up? Good. Very, very well. If there is an arrest against me, underneath the section of that law, it specifically said there shouldn't be any arrests for anything. But if there was an arrest, I am here to prophesy to you, and it needs to be on the record, that if there are any arrests against my person in any capacity whatsoever, you will have, Yehovah says you will have, and he prophesies this, I'm just the messenger, will have a nuclear weapons incident in the United States, in the mainland of the United States of America. You will no longer have a functioning democracy after that point. And as long as you understand, I am exercising my religious freedom to prophesy to you, so we're all on the record, so it can't be counted as some terroristic threat, that it comes from the church as prophecy. As long as you and I have that understanding, we're fine. If you decide that your law enforcement wants to arrest, they'll just simply have to weigh whether or not they want a nuclear detonation in this nation. If they weigh that and they decide that they want to do that, they're more than welcome. But at that point, there is no more constitutional rule of law, is there? But because it kind of seems like there isn't any right now. Well, I'm down here, so if you want to send an officer and try this part too, I'm just letting you know on the record, I've cited you properly. I have spoken to you in regards to the law appropriately, and I've told you that our corporation soul with our church is registered with the Montana Secretary of State's office as the Empowerment Center Church Overseer. I'm telling you what is on the record, and I'm going to continue to come here every single day, and I'm going to continue to put these up here every single solitary day. And if they want to continue to pursue this it is going to give everyone in the world the impression there is no more constitutional rule of law in this town. And either law means something or it doesn't. So, Luke, tell me what you're going to do. Are you planning on coming out here and citing me again? Well, I would really like you to decide that. Can you go talk to a fellow officer and I would prefer that you go talk to an officer, because I'm calling you and I have cited the law to you and I've cited our exemption status to you. Do you plan on coming down here again? And make sure this gets on the record. If you need to take a moment to go talk to a fellow officer and say, oh yeah, I'm gonna go cite Jordan. No, I'm not. Then you need to do that, but I prefer you do that on the phone call. So you don't even have to come down here. Would you like to go talk to your superior officer and cite them everything that I just shared with you? I can even hold a conference call with them. That's perfectly fine. But I would prefer to get it on this phone call. Of course you were. That's why I said you know who I am. Yes. Yes. Well, that's correct. Then why, now knowing that, because you just said that on the record, then why does the police force simply not drop that citation? It is within your authority to do that. It is within the chief of police's authority to drop the citation altogether, now knowing those facts and now knowing all of this on the record. It is within his authority to go ahead and drop that entirely. So I don't even have to attend court. Yes? Yes. Yes. I got it understood. I'm hoping that he'll just do the right thing. And Luke, I know that I know that you're just a guy you're the officer that decided to pick up a phone call. But I wanted to make sure it was on the record. And by the way, besides this, if I ever met you on the street, we would probably be friends and it would be a very amiable relationship and we would not be talking about this in any way, shape, or form. And I would be inviting you over for barbecue. But because of the situation in the church and the way that this was handled, you're the direct representative and I'm the direct representative of the church, and we're just making the case. It's nothing personal against you. And it's very important. And Officer Luke, I'm glad that you even got to hear this, because it's wrong. I haven't been arrested, Luke. I'm talking to you as a fellow man, as a fellow citizen. I haven't been arrested for anything. I have not had any warrants for my arrest. I haven't had anything. And I have the CIA that's illegally spying on me simply because of me prophesying accurately, not only to our government, but to world leaders all around the planet. And they documented this, and no one, it doesn't matter how much I speak about this, no one seems to care at all. They don't seem to care at all. It's like it goes in one ear and right out the other. And I have tried my hardest to tell them prophetically what would happen, and they don't listen. They hear me, but they don't do anything. So I'm letting you know that the stakes with me are not little. They're extreme in nature. And that's not even me saying that. That's Yehovah prophesying through me to you, that you just needed to know that. And with that, Luke, I bid you a very good afternoon. No, I have not. Oh, no, hold on a second. I've been arrested when I was like 19 or 20, but like, yes. All right. That sounds fine. And Luke, I appreciate you being on the record telling me that under the circumstances I would be exempt. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Thank you, Luke. I'm going to go back and I'm going to put these flyers right back up. Vexing Satan. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Bless. Can you hear me? All right. You were on the record. I tell you, buddy, it's exciting, isn't it? Wait. I mean, it's now on the record with like so many different people that if you play a game, there's gonna end up being a nuclear detonation. I don't know how simple or how whatever it's got to be. Like, seriously? Dude, this is Mickey Mouse, man. Walk things on the clock. I clearly told the officer, and it was on the record, and I've got the audios to prove it. No, they just don't. They said you are welcome to come down here and cite me.
Walk sign is on the cross. Made. Walk sign is on the cross. Made.
Oh, no, brother, you don't touch this. Not while I'm present. No, I don't do that. And you're being recorded right now.
Oh,
so
sweet.
If you touch me, then I get to sue you.
Oh, you.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just calling the cops again.
Good. I just literally got off the phone with them.
Sweet.
Here, you're going to like this.
Oh, I'm gonna love this.
Oh, no, you're going to like this right here. This part. See that exemption right there?
That doesn't mean anything.
Oh, yeah, it does.
This is Kelly again.
I'm great to meet you, and I did.
And
I don't know who you are.
I'm Daniel Foley. I'm a Christian at Lawful.
You're a believer?
Yeah. Born again.
Person on
You know
the phone.
you know
Is this man a believer who's standing in front of me?
there, while I'm present.
Or is he... What's that? He identified himself as a believer. Okay, got it. There's a lot of people who identify themselves as believers these days.
Yeah.
But you know how Yeshua said, do you know you? How did Yeshua say that we would recognize a true believer in this time?
You know what's funny is, well,
What did he
I
say?
don't really have a good answer for that right now, but, I guess you could say I know you by your fruit,
That's true.
but I don't know any of your fruit, so. But I heard about you from a friend actually like 5 minutes ago,
Yes.
and that you're putting up all these things.
Yes.
And I was like, I hope I meet him pretty soon. And then boom, here we are.
Well, then, Daniel, as a believer, you can come here and stand with me on the front line of Christianity.
Oh yeah, definitely. I want to know what you are for first.
For
I
you,
don't know if you're
I am a
believer.
Jewish. I'm a what you would consider a messianic Jew
That's cool.
that believes in the greater works of the Ruach HaKodesh that we actively walk in. The Ruach HaKodesh is the Hebrew way of saying the Holy Spirit, but you already know that.
Yeah.
And so my wife, my family, our church, we actively teach about the greater works of the Ruach HaKodesh, and one of the greater works that we walk in is what Yeshua described in Matthew 9:4. Something these people shouldn't even have a problem with because they have psychic fairs, right? But
So
Matthew
are
9:4.
Are they calling the cops on you for preaching or what?
No, they're calling the cops because they believe that it's illegal to hang these up.
It's not allowed to put stuff on.
Yeah, but there's an exemption.
It's not an exemption.
Yeah, it is. It says non-profit organizations, which we are. We're the Empowerment Center Church, which is a non-profit.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you.
You go. Hold on. You
Let me
can't.
ask you a question.
You
Let me
went
ask you a
from one
question.
thing
You're
to
gonna be
another.
ignorant. You're gonna be
You
ignorant
went-
and not let somebody ask you a question. Are you gonna be ignorant and let somebody ask you a question or not?
You see that
Yes or no?
exemption?
Yes
where it
or
reads?
no?
All I know is that there's a First Amendment.
That's
Yes,
right.
there is, right.
It
But there's
says
also
non-profit
freedom of religion,
organization.
right?
Yeah.
Don't
So, you
bother.
know what
You
he's
speaking
doing?
to a spirit.
He's saying that we're not allowed to practice our religion because he doesn't agree with
That's not what I said at all.
Excuse me, you want me to
No,
show
I'm
you the
saying
videos
that
about
we
witches?
just. No, what I'm saying is
About
that what
witches.
you. Oh, are you gonna let me finish?
Okay,
I thought
absolutely.
you said love was in the air. It says love isn't rude. I mean, unless you haven't
I never
mastered
said
that
love in the
concept
air.
yet.
Where did I say love
Oh,
in the
that's
air?
what your sign says right out front. Is that your sign?
Yeah.
Okay.
anyways,
well, if that's the case,
You're
then
not. All right, finish what you're saying. Finish what you're saying. Do I have freedom of religion or not?
oh my gosh,
Yes or no?
you're a business. You're not a church.
I'm not a church. Do I? So why are you trying to?
Hold on a second. You're
What's my name got to do with anything your religion
It's
is
pretty
doing?
confusing because you're
What is
describing
your-
that you have religious freedom, but you're not a church to have the religious freedom that we have as a church.
No, everybody
You
has
can't
religious
compare-
freedom. Absolutely, I can compare. As an American, I have religious freedom.
Of
do
course
I not?
you do, and
So
you can
why do
believe
you
whatever
call me
you.
out for being a witch?
Hold on a second,
Why do you call me out for being a witch?
because greater's the power in us
No,
that's inside
shut
of
the
you.
fuck up. You dumb as
I
shit.
thought that. Well, I thought you
You're
had
dumb
love.
as shit.
That's not love in the
I
air.
have a good answer for
Walk
you.
sign is on the cross.
We know that you're in a burning building and we're just trying to get you out of it.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Yeah,
we're gonna burn.
Is it burning?
Yeah,
Is it burning?
You're
Is it burning?
No, I've got an even better answer for you.
What's that?
See, if you would have done any research on me, you'd know that the CIA.
Oh God, you're a fucking retard. The CIA doesn't care about you. The CIA never cared about you.
I doubt.
Yeah, the CIA does not care about you. You are not important enough for the CIA.
Yeah,
Your
okay.
shit's
You
gonna
obviously,
keep getting cited.
you obviously
You're gonna
haven't
keep
read the
getting cited.
affidavit unfiled in the
Affidavit. You're gonna keep getting cited. You're gonna keep getting your shit torn
I'm
down.
not. I
By
just
the
talked
way-
to the officer
by
and
the
told
way-
me I'm not going to be cited.
Yeah,
Walk sign
I
is on
talked
the
to
cross.
detective twice
Made.
today. By the way,
Walk sign is
Just
on the
so
cross.
we're clear.
Made.
you're doing
I'm
great
not
for
this
business.
guy. You-
You're doing great for business. Our
What?
business is booming for us.
If it was, you wouldn't be tearing these down so much.
Absolutely, we are.
No.
How many businesses are actually promoting our business because of you? Did you know there's a bounty?
to be psychic,
I'm
we
not
have the
psychic. Do I
authority
claim to be
just to
psychic?
take over. Yeah, the whole claim that you guys have to being psychic, that gift that you guys
I
claim
don't
to
claim
walk
to be
in.
psychic.
The people that represent your organizations that
Okay.
have been commenting are claiming that they have psychic fairs here.
Absolutely we do.
Well, we have power over that to literally stop their gift from even taking place.
Oh, so you have gifts?
Oh,
So what are you,
buddy.
a witch? Oh my God,
No,
you're a
I'm
witch.
a believer of
You're
Yeshua.
a witch.
No, I'm a believer of Yeshua.
You're a stupid idiot, man.
All
You
of
think
our
the
power
CIA?
comes- all of
You
our
think
power
the
comes
CIA
from
is
God.
spying on you? Nobody
I
gives a
don't think
fuck
they
about
are.
you.
An FBI special agent just filed in a court in Ravalli County with Judge Jennifer Ray an affidavit under
For a hate
oath
group, maybe.
that said
For a hate
specifically, no, not
For a hate group,
for our
you're a
church.
fucking hate group.
Oh, you know what? Your common argument is for anybody that doesn't believe you or stands up to your witchcraft is that they're a hate group. They're mentally insane.
Okay, wait a minute.
Or
So-
they need mental
So
therapy.
because
these are old.
Ministry on Main Street
these
called
are
you out for
old
being a false
arguments.
prophet. Because
These
Ministry
are
on
old.
Main
No. It doesn't work that way.
Nope.
No,
Nope.
it
Nope.
doesn't work that
Ministry
way.
on Main Street
You
called
are
you out.
not putting this shit up.
Oh,
in my
I'm not
town.
only putting it up, I'm going to be doing it every single day.
Great.
And every single day, people will be
Great.
tearing it down.
Great.
town,
We're
town,
going to
town.
tear it all down because.
Well, that's your prerogative, but you should thank me for all the cardio workout you'll get in the end.
Yeah, thank you.
If you touch me, it's assault. That's what you guys would say, right? Isn't that why you say if you?
I haven't
Didn't
touched
you
you.
just come at him with your chest?
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
you
come
did.
at him. I got a
Yeah, you
witness
did.
right here
This
that
was
says I
before
would.
he even showed up. This was
No,
before
no,
he even
no,
showed
no.
up. There's
No.
cameras. This was before you
No,
even showed up.
you are not doing this in our town.
Oh,
You don't
I'm not
belong
only
here.
going to do
You
it,
don't belong-
it's
you
going to
don't
grow
know.
even more.
I
It's
don't
going to
have
go everywhere, every single day. It's going to
Yeah.
get worse and worse and worse. And
Yeah,
there
I wanna
is
know because I'm
nothing
actually
you can do
angry.
about it. You are
feel so
powerless to
sorry
stop
for
it.
you.
I'm sure that you do.
I feel
And if
so
you
sorry
did,
for
then you
you.
would actually contribute to something that's good, but you don't. So good luck.
What are you doing that's good, sweetheart? I'm a
Only
teacher.
protecting your
I'm a
lives in this
teacher,
valley.
and I'm
How
teaching
about-
children how to be respectful
Oh,
and
you can
equal
laugh, but you
and
know
loving.
that's why I post the truth that can be fact checked and verified.
Absolutely. You.
That's the beauty of it.
I've never met this guy.
No. This.
So I thought you called the police. Where are they at, homie?
So,
Where are they at?
I'm definitely not your homie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that you called. What are we doing
I
here?
mean, like, one of these days, I'd like to talk to you about Jesus and stuff. But,
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to.
Do you know that Jesus' biggest command was
What's
to
that?
love all?
Jesus
Love
also
all.
said that those who love me will obey my commands.
And his
And
commands
his
are to love
commands
all.
are to stand up
No.
against witchcraft and idolatry. That's why it says in John 10:35 that all scripture must be considered. So if you're going to quote the Bible, you better bring your A game because you're going to lose that debate here.
The number one commandment
is to
The number
obey
one
him. Is to obey
is
him.
to
He says,
love.
if you love
Is
me,
love.
you will obey my commands.
Is to love. The
And
number
what
one
am I doing?
commandment is
I'm
to
obeying
love.
his command. That's what I'm
This
doing.
is not love.
Pointing out occult witchcraft.
This is
You're
not
quoting
love.
me Jesus, but supporting occult
You
witchcraft? Get out of here.
are-
Go.
No.
I don't listen to satanic spirits.
Do you do tarot
You
or anything
are
like that?
judging.
Astrology? No.
You're
I don't
judging.
personally-
and you don't
Judging?
even know.
Hold on a second.
You don't even
It says
know.
in 1 Corinthians chapter 6 that we're competent to judge the internal matters of a church. My quandary is with me ministry in Maine that has to directly deal with
You're a
this.
secular.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were in the business of quoting scripture. You're a teacher. You said, get out, go, bye.
Right, I understand that. But I also know that
No, we're going to keep it up every day. And if the people don't like it, that's fine. That's their prerogative.
Don't like you. Nobody likes you.
That's great. That's clearly evident with the amount of sin that I see in this town. That's clearly evident. I see husbands that trade up their wives for sex, wives that have no sense whatsoever, or women that just flaunt themselves around town. Go, just go. The sin in this town is obscene. So go, walk your dogs. Whether your opinion doesn't matter. My obedience is to the king. Goodbye.
let's talk about court. Let's talk about where you're
I thought your thing was with me. I thought you called the police. Where are they
I'm
at?
talking to somebody. Why are you bothering me while I'm talking to somebody?
This is a fellow believer.
Absolutely.
And he
bro.
came here to come
You don't
talk
want
to
me
me.
talk to a
Brother,
believer?
let me tell you what we
This
do.
is pretty cool, you know, how
God orchestrated all of this. What's her name?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So, but my point is, you can't pick and choose. It's
I'm
like-
not. I'm
no,
not.
No, I'm not saying you are.
Well-
I'm just saying there's a lot of people that do pick and choose.
What he's asking, maybe you can give
I
us
am
some insight.
perfectly capable
Yeah,
of
yeah.
answering.
I'm
What was your
just trying to-
question?
so why is witchcraft bad? What does the
Yeah.
Bible say?
Well,
It says in the book of Revelation that occult magic arts and witchcraft will be consigned. Anyone who performs those things will be consigned to the fire pits of hell. It says those who love me
and does
will
it say
obey
that
my commands.
anything about judging others?
Yes,
Somewhere
it
in the
does.
Bible?
It
Okay.
absolutely does. Let me give you the
It gives us
exact
the
scripture
right
and
way.
verse.
It gives
I
us the
got
right
two
way to
different.
judge.
Hold on. You asked a
So
question.
calling people out for.
Hold on a second, man. Do you want the answer, or are you going to
No,
just
I'm
ask
talking
questions
to
and keep
you.
going around in
I'm talking
circles?
to you.
Can I please answer that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. It absolutely talks about judging others. In
Okay.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, it very specifically says that we have the authority to, the internal authority within the church to judge the competent matters that are within the church. This
Within the
has to
church.
deal with ministry on Maine.
Okay.
The ministry on Maine dealing with an accusation of witchcraft against me because I walk
So that's
in a.
between you and them.
Hold on
Why
a
is it
second.
Why are you calling us in?
Because they clearly, by the way, they hate your organization.
Really? I'm
Yeah.
going to lunch with them.
That's
Are you
great
freaking
because
serious?
when they have a
don't know
meeting with me
shit.
at the Coffee Cup Cafe,
When
they
called you
say
a
all
false
sorts of
prophet?
different
When they
things.
called you a false prophet, because you are a false prophet.
That's not why the FBI Special Agent Selena
I
Devantier
thought it
sat
was
me
the
down at the
CIA.
Coffee Cup
You
Factory.
just told me it was the CIA. Now
No,
it's the
there's
FBI?
two different organizations.
So, but to answer your question,
Hold on a second.
God says,
No. Hold on. The federal government sits me down.
Hang on.
I just met this guy. I don't know him
You guys
very
go
well.
around like a merry-go-round. You ask one question, then I start giving you an answer, then you go to another one because you don't like the answer that
jumping
you're
around.
giving.
You still not telling me why you drug my name, my business, into your petty little fight.
Oh, because it says that love delights in the truth.
So delight in leaving me the fuck alone. I never
No,
bothered
I
you.
think
Okay,
that
no,
this is-
that's
this is
my
my
you've
command.
answered. That's you've answered it. You have no love. You have hatred. You spew hatred. You are a hateful person, and that's okay. This community will tear your shit down every single day.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
I
and it
just wanna-
happens every day.
I have one more question for you before you go, because you're probably going to go. But isn't it love to tell
Sorry.
somebody to get out of a burning building?
Yeah, but my building's not on fire.
It is.
It's
but
not.
hellfire.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'll come talk to you.
Okay, thank you.
Are you Luke?
I am Officer Luke.
The man I talked to.
Yes.
I wouldn't have even stuck around, but he decided he wanted to come out here and make a really big deal and start yelling at me and all sorts of
Well,
things.
That's why I'm here again. Or I'm here for the first time, I guess. That's why I came down here. Okay? So,
I only had my hand up because they were trying to tear it down while my hand was on it.
Yeah.
I mean, they would call that assault. If I touched them, they'd be like, he assaulted me. They literally grabbed my hand and everything.
Oh,
Isn't
what?
that considered assault? I mean, if I went and I touched him and he called it assault, would you arrest me for it? Let's put it that way. If he said, listen, I got a witness,
I don't
and
know.
he, would you?
okay. I'm not here for that.
Exactly.
Josh. What's your last name?
Kenny Greenwood.
It's hyphen, right?
Yeah.
Kenny Greenwood.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. You want? You like Josh?
Joshua.
Joshua. Okay. So, you know why this has pissed people off, right?
Yes.
Okay. How come you're not just posting signs about your church?
This was what I was commanded to do. Now, it's one thing for you to sit here and tell me this, but listen, I tried to tell them, there's a reason why you have an FBI special agent who sat me down at the Coffee Cup Cafe representing the federal government on more than one occasion, because I prophesied directly to our federal government on 21 different occasions with specificity, with time, date stamps, and server logs to prove that I did this, and they all came to pass without fail.
Right.
So when I say I'm under the command of Yahweh, it's not like some idle words from some crazy person who doesn't have any sense or doesn't have the fact-checking power to bring forth evidence like I am with you.
Okay. And I'm very glad you did that, okay? So here's the thing though, okay?
Are you a believer with me? Are you a believer in Christ?
Here's what's going on, okay? You can put these up.
Yes.
They can tear them down.
They can.
What's stopping them from tearing those down?
Nothing.
Okay. If you walk up to them and be confrontational with them about taking them down, that's the issue, okay?
Did I walk up to him?
They came out to him. I just had been walking up here. I was going to ask him about the bulletins that he's putting up.
They came to me to be confrontational,
and then
officer.
they just jumped out of there. I don't even know how they saw him, honestly. I have no idea.
They're aware of this. Of these
Word
signs,
gets around.
right?
I
Been
don't
going on
know.
like what, a week now, 2
This
weeks?
is a part of my job with the church. It's a pastor's job to confront people in town. It says love delights in the truth. That thing sells witchcraft and occult nonsense. And whether that's the argument or not, it makes no difference. But my job as a pastor is to operate in love and to obey my king. This is what he's commanded me to do.
Is it against the law to put up these signs? I just want to know that.
It's not against the law
Okay.
for nonprofit organizations.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I thought it applied to freedom of speech.
It's
a
just,
freedom of speech thing.
it's
There
Washington
are
City, okay?
Supreme Court
Okay.
rulings.
Okay. There's a
that
law that says you can't just post signs.
There's
A
Supreme
random-
Court
a
precedents
random
that
average
allows
Joe
this.
cannot.
You have to understand, it may have an ordinance, but there is Supreme Court precedents that does allow for the posting of freedom of speech information like this in public domains. I mean, the
but
Constitution even clearly says.
Can we preach on the corners? Because I know in every other state there's laws protecting street preachers.
You can preach on the street,
And-
as long as you're not blocking the sidewalk.
Yeah,
You
as
can't
long as you're not
block,
inciting violence, right?
Yeah, you can't incite violence. You
don't
can't
incite
block
violence.
the sidewalk. You can't block people's free access.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and there's a thin line between disturbing the peace and then preaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, sometimes people are not going to agree with the gospel. I mean, it's just the truth.
Officer Luke,
You read the law.
Here's
right?
the problem.
You read the law that they gave you.
here's the
That
problem
you recited on.
what started everything. Me and my church, we operate in what they call the greater works. We're talking healings, miracles, signs, and wonders. Prophecy that's spoken first and then comes to pass with specificity. I ain't talking about giving your green handkerchief of prosperity. I'm talking like there's a CIA officer in the Russia in Moscow that the FSB is looking for, and he's like of a certain ethnicity that I can post, and it comes to pass. Okay, that kind of prophecy. One of the greater works that we walk in is where Yeshua, that's Jesus, I'm Jewish, so I'll say Hebrew terms.
Okay.
One of the things that Yeshua spoke about in Matthew 9:4 was knowing their thoughts. He says, why do you entertain these evil thoughts in your heart? Well, and he says in John 14:12, those who believe in me will do even greater works than I've done. Our church actively walks in that gift. It's a true 100% telepathic anointing. It's called the glory from John 17:22.
Your church is in Victor.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, we walk in that. We're not the only ones. I've trained with the best, CIA, Mossad, you name it, who actively use this gift. They use it at the highest echelons of national security in these different countries. I am one of the only people that's even survived this long that has actually walked in this, and it's not full of blueberry muffins. I went to that church to teach them the truth, to bring with them. I have material witnesses that
What church? This one out here?
Yes, the ministry on Main. I said, I have
A righteous family that is above reproach, that has done nothing but good in this valley for 7 years. We've done nothing but feed people and bless people and heal people in this valley for 7 years straight. Okay? Didn't get anybody to do anything to lift a pinky finger to help us.
That's how long this church been there? 7 years?
Yes.
Okay.
I said to him, I have material witnesses in this state that have experienced this gift firsthand, where I can literally tell them what they're thinking while they're thinking it. That can go on the record with a polygraph examination test where it would be proven true.
Okay.
And they not only didn't listen to me, what they did was they said, without going through any type of scripture whatsoever, with dispute resolution where it says in Matthew 18, 15 through 19 to get somebody out of the church, they didn't do any of that. They invited me to the Coffee Cup Cafe one day, and they said, don't ever come back to this ministry. What you're talking about is witchcraft. It's from Satan. Don't ever come back here again. They said what I was doing and walking in the greater works, even though I gave all the glory to Yeshua HaMashiach, that's Jesus the Messiah, I gave him all the glory for everything. And I said that we were doing this for the protection of this country, which me and my family have done. And if we hadn't protected this country, believe me when I tell you, with the classified things that we've done, you wouldn't even be in this valley sitting there in that officer's uniform. You would have already been dead. You would have an enemy that has already been wanting to invade this country that we've been helping stop. But see, because of this gift, I'm warrantlessly spied upon by the CIA, which FBI agent put on an affidavit to Jennifer Ray. No less than the last 30 days, there is an affidavit filed with this court that says that I'm being spied upon by the CIA and the Joint Terrorism Task Force, even though I've committed no crimes, I have no warrants, and I've not been arrested for anything. No one will help me. No one. But this church over here wanted to send me over to Satan because what I testified about, which I have material witnesses I can bring to the table and evidence to prove what I say is true and accurate, they did not want to listen to a single ounce of it and said what I was doing was witchcraft. But they can sit there and hang out with between two worlds all day long. So it says they say they're very concerned about witchcraft, but they allow this to remain. Even through a COVID pandemic, when people were quarantined, they still made so much money from their occult practices and their witchcraft and crystal balls and magic wands in this town that they were able to literally pay the rent, the utilities, the employees, and the inventory. That's a problem. And I'm sitting here representing Christ, and it does not, people hate the truth. They don't want to sit there and they don't want this truth to be made known, and they will do everything they can to stop it, calling you guys every 5 seconds, all the way to the point where getting these people so pissed off they did what they did today. Coming up to me, ripping this off, literally grabbing my person, whatever they did. He saw it. And I get no justice, man. And it doesn't matter if I cite the law properly, even to the officer that was here today. I cited it. I even had 2 material witnesses that were right there with me. And I cited it. And they still gave it to me. Now, either there is some form of love, and there is some form of truth, and there is some form of law and justice in this town, or there's not. But I have not done anything wrong.
We're just talking, okay?
But I
come
haven't.
down, I'm talking to you. I'm hearing your side of the story, okay? I'm not fighting you. I'm not arguing with you.
This is the truth nobody wants to hear about. Nobody wants to acknowledge that.
Okay.
And then when I start talking about the CIA, I get laughed at, even though they filed it with Jennifer Ray.
38. So you gotta take case.
And I've tried to tell you some things, man. I tried to tell this man, I tried to tell this off the people here. I'm not alone. You gotta understand. If I'm arrested, Yehovah said there will be a nuclear weapons incident in this country. And that's not a little game to play with. When a person says that, I'm talking that has to go to the highest
Joshua,
echelons. Yes.
I'm leaving, okay? I got somewhere to be right now, okay? I don't have time to be here. No. Okay. Put him up, take him down, I don't care, okay? If someone takes him down, you can't stop them. Okay?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, they got the freedom to tear them
You
down.
can't fight with them.
But my orders aren't to fight with them. My orders were just to put it up. I'm just following my orders from Yeshua.
Joshua, good evening. Okay, do this. Don't. There's a piece. Don't
If
cause
they
any.
confront
Don't
me
cause
like
any
that,
issues.
I have a case in my favor.
Just don't talk to cops, okay?
Thank you. I want to talk to you. I'm glad that you're here. So I'm kind
I
of
knew
affiliated.
Yeshua gave us assets on the ground today, but I didn't know how it would come forth.
That's awesome. I got some questions with you because I'm concerned. I am a little bit affiliated with them. I put paintings in there.
Yes.
Have you seen my paintings?
I've seen
window?
paintings, but I didn't know they were yours.
Yeah, they're mine. I've gone to a few groups there, but
Bless, can you hear this conversation? Do you mind just keep on the phone? Is that cool? Okay. Ask Yeshua, do you need to remain or can I just hang up the phone? Okay. My wife's name is Bless. She's literally the epitome of the Father. Right? Yes.
that's amazing. I'm
It
jealous.
is, this is why if I ask her something, she hears from Yeshua very
Yeah.
That's why I depend on it. Put it
Yeah.
that way. Want to sit down?
Yes, please.